Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Senior Living Live. My name is Mary Kate Spires, and we are here on location at Arbor Terrace, Roseland. We're going to be talking all things safety and security with our fantastic guest, who has such an interesting story. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you for having me here. My name is Charles Giuliano. I'm the maintenance director / building operations for Arbor Terrace and Roseland. I've been here going on 5 years. I have an interesting background resume of a combination of security and maintenance. I'm a retired law enforcement officer from Essex County Corrections Facility, but I was also a institute trade instructor where I used to train the inmates for welding, plumbing, all general maintenance in general, and then hopefully job place them. After retiring, I worked in special operations security in New York and New Jersey for a few years, doing a lot of Giants games, Jets games, New York Yankees, the Breeders' Cup horse race. Then I became director of security for the largest healthcare facility in New Jersey, in Lincoln Park. And then I was asset protection supervisor for corporate Walmart. And then I landed this job here. So I have an interesting resume of security, law enforcement, safety, and the trades.
You've lived a bunch of lives already.
I tried my best.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your job here. And, one of the big reasons someone might move into senior living is to have that safety and security they might not have at home.
Exactly.
How do you, help create that here?
Well, my introduction, just like this one, it does make them at ease. When I speak to the families and I assure them of my security, safety background, they automatically understand that I know the police in the town. I know the firemen. The fire department is right across the street. But they also see what we do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. We have quarterly, biannually, and annually with inspections, fire drills, disaster drills, continuous educating, continuous town hall meetings where we're constantly keeping them in the loop of what we're doing, how we're getting better. We have a tremendous camera system, which we never had. And when I explain to them the state-of-the-art camera system we have and the locations where we have every square inch of this building covered, they really feel safe. They feel safe that their belongings will be safe. We have door guardian alarms that I have to constantly inspect at nighttime. The residents know they're secure. With the combination of all of our fire drills, disaster drills, in-services, my background, door guard, the alarm systems we have here, they, all of that in conjunction, they feel very safe.
What do you think are some concerns people typically have regarding safety in senior living?
Pendants, emergency call boxes, anything for an emergency situation. A lot of families feel if their loved ones are in the room, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it is, if something happens, who will respond? We have a system of pendants that residents wear around their neck. They push a button, it registers to the front desk, and we also have the emergency call boxes wherever they usually sit or sleep. So in the bedrooms, above their bed, couches, bathrooms. That's a big issue, and again, that's part of my responsibility to work with Silver Sphere. That's the company we use to monitor these devices, make sure that the batteries are good, the devices aren't faulty, and that's another inspection that I do on a daily and weekly basis.
Yeah, we talked about it just slightly a little bit, where a big reason a lot of people will move into senior living is because of the safety and security that's offered. Could you speak a little bit just to how living at home is different than living in a senior living community from a safety perspective?
Well, a lot of families that I speak to, they have to work. They're out most of the day. They don't have a pendant system and an emergency call system as we do. They, for many different reasons, they can't have a private aide living there constantly. They can't have somebody periodically checking in. A lot of homes aren't wheelchair accessible and handicap accessible. They don't really know how to cook. There's a whole food issue, a dietary issue with them, trip and fall hazards throughout the whole house. So here we have all of those things monitored, and we have the answers for them.
Some peace of mind.
Yes, very peace of mind is a big part.
So of course, everyone's unique and has different things that they need. How here do you all make sure that any unique preferences or things are taken care of from a safety perspective?
I'm glad you asked that question, because recently we just had somebody coming in a wheelchair and took a room like this, and you could look right there at that vanity, and they wouldn't be able to get the wheelchair to wash their hands because it's a straight vanity. So what we do in those situations is I remove that vanity and I put a slant in so they can get their wheelchair under so they can reach the faucet. Also, recently we had a resident come in that has the motorized scooter, and our front doors have hinges that close automatically. So I put magnetic door holder on the bottom of the door and the wall. So if she opens it, it sticks to the wall, and then when she's leaving, she could just pull it and it closes behind her. So those are two instances right there that just recently happened that we're moving forward with for special needs.
That's amazing that you actually think about all of that, because everyone is different.
Yeah.
We all have different needs when it comes
yeah.
to safety. Another big part of safety is, of course, germs and trying to keep things as clean as possible, illness out of the way. So how do you approach that?
That's a big one, because that's also part of my job as environmental service. I'm in charge of housekeeping. First thing we do is we definitely work side by side with our nursing department with infectious control. So first thing I do is I order, and I'm in charge of spill kits, bloodborne air pathogen kits, and all that stuff where if there's a spill on the ground. But I have a unique set of chemicals that I use that's EPA approved. It's a COVID killing chemical. They have COVID killing agents. We incorporate a checklist. I have a checklist for inside the apartments. I have a checklist for common areas that my staff have to follow and fill out on a daily basis 3 times a day. I also have hands-free faucets in the common areas. I have hands-free paper towel dispensers, and we have in all the common areas, and I have hands-free sanitizing dispensers throughout the whole building. Also in each apartment, we have a hands-free sanitizing dispenser. Along with that, it's just a lot of cleaning and educating. We have in-services on hand washing. We have in-services on Relias training videos. So it's basically a lot of, that's a team effort. Everybody has to be involved with that, with the spreading of germs.
For sure. Yeah, we all have to think about it. You spoke to it a little bit that you all do drills, but what support is available to residents during times of emergency? I know we're in New Jersey, so we're not super worried about hurricanes up here, but there's obviously a lot of things that could happen.
Well, first, we definitely have disaster drills. Besides our monthly fire drills that we do have disaster drills, and we do change them. We just had one for an earthquake, because we recently had an earthquake. We have ones for carbon monoxide poisoning, if a hurricane, a flood, if a vehicle struck the building. But I would say the biggest thing is how I handle inclement weather. What I do is I have a little bit of an edge because I live close. So I'm on call, and my job has me 24/7. That's just the way it is. I have my assistant, we rotate. So if I'm not available, he's available 24/7. Well, we also do an in-house shelter. We had blizzards where I would set up rooms for staff to sleep over. I have inflatable mattresses, sheets, pillows, you name it. We'll set up empty rooms, we'll set up the model rooms, we'll set up some offices for staff to sleep here so they don't have to worry about getting in. And we handle it. I always have ample amount of snow, salt, shovels, and it's just a lot of training in services and preparation. We have a big 50 or 75 gallon tub with all emergency supplies, extension cords, lights, batteries. We also have color coordinated bands to put on residents if we had to bust them and move them to a safer location, which we do have a safe point right across the street. We have an auditorium from the town that will allow us to go if we need it.
Wow, you're very prepared. I want to be here in an emergency. Well, Charles, I think all of your residents are in fantastic hands here.
Thank you.
And I cannot thank you enough for sitting and chatting with me. This has been
awesome.
great.
This was a great experience for me too, and I loved sharing what we do here.
Absolutely, you should. It's incredible. It really is. For everybody watching at home, if you'd like to see more videos like this about senior living and safety, please feel free to go to seniorlivinglive.com. If you're in the area and would like to learn more about Arbor Terrace Roseland, you can go to arborroseland.com. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, and stay safe.